Welcome back to your part 2 of how to stop sacrificing your life in order to grow your business. So go ahead and download your workbook as I walk you through everything so that way we can take action, because as you know, if we do not take action, nothing is going to change, right? If nothing changes, nothing will change. It's always surprising to me, since I'm in the coaching world, I see this a lot where people are like, wow, I actually said, or I actually did what you said to do, and it worked, right? So whether that's you're taking advice or support from me or another coach, or you've read something in a book, or you watched a training, or you bought a course, that person is there to support you, right? They want you to be successful. So if you actually do the work, guess what? You're actually going to see results. So if you're not where you want to be, if you're drowning in stress, we've got to change some things. And the more stress or chaos or whatever you're feeling means we're going to have to take more action. All right? And then it's going to level out, and then you're going to feel all those good feelings that I want you to feel. It is very important to me. I don't want you to grow a 6-figure business, a 7-figure business, completely exhausted, not taking care of yourself and getting those amazing results, which is great. But I don't know about you, but I don't want that for you. I want it to be both. I want you to grow a super successful, thriving business of any size, but you're enjoying it in the process. You have time for your hobbies, you have time for your family, you have time for self-care, and you're in the best shape of your life and you are super healthy. Doesn't that sound amazing? And what we did in part 1, if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that first, because we did a lot of the prep work, right? The limiting beliefs, what you actually want, why you want it. So stop here if you haven't watched part 1, because now we're building on top of that in part 2. Are you ready? Are you so excited? I'm so excited for you. So grab your workbook. Let's dive right in. I'm going to look at my screen so I can see the workbook as well. So first and foremost, for part 2, we're going to start to reduce expenses. This is a way to get some quick wins, because a lot of times as business owners, we're flying at the seat of our pants, right? We're saying yes to things and we're moving really quickly. That what happens is then all of those yeses, right, especially from a dollar standpoint, start to stack up. It's like if you were to go to Starbucks 5 days a week for an entire month, well, every single time that $5, $10 doesn't feel so painful. But then when you add it up, it's like, oh my gosh, what could I do with that money? So the same is true about your business expenses. So my favorite way to do this is to literally print off a bank statement of where your business transactions come out of. So whether you have a bank account or a credit card statement, whatever it is, I want you to print that off. And then I want you to highlight all the things that are extras, right? So these are things you absolutely need to grow your business. They're more of like a want. And I want you to highlight all of those, right? And then I want you to add up that total for a month. And I want you to just sit with that amount and be like, is this helping me, right? Is this helping grow my business? And if not, I want you to think about on your workbook, what are some of the things that you can either completely reduce, or completely eliminate or reduce. A lot of times there's ways to reduce your expenses, whether you can negotiate or maybe you just pause because you don't need it right now. So I really want you to think about this. Now, there is a difference, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we just start taking things off, we cancel it. I do not want you canceling your website subscription. That's your storefront, right? If you're hiring somebody to help you, that's a really good expense, right? So I really want you to think about not expenses that are truly helping your business, but all the extras, okay? Add up that and see what we can reduce it by. This is a really quick win. It's really fun, and it's okay to reduce some expenses, and you can always come back to them later. So that's going to be your quick win. Then I want you to go back and think about what you wanted to be paid per week that you're not getting paid now, right? So say you're getting paid $1,000 a week. This is you taking it home. This is what's important to me, because your business can be making a lot of money, but you're not taking it home, right? This is your paycheck. This is keeping your personal dreams alive, right? which our business is a vehicle to do that. But I want you to get really clear on what you're taking home right now versus what you want to be taking home per week. So if you get paid per month or bi-weekly, just go ahead and divide that out, because the reason why I want you to do this is I want you to see what that weekly amount is and what it could be, what you want it to be. And then basically what you're gonna do is take what's in the gap. So if you're getting paid, let's say $1,000 per week, if it's easier for you to not take taxes out, I totally understand that. So say you're getting paid $1,000 per week right now, but you want to be paid $2,000 per week. This is just really easy math for me. Then the difference would be $1,000. Okay, so that's what you'll put in your workbook on that line item is $1,000 additional dollars per week. If you're already bringing home that amount, we already know that that's pretty consistent. So now I want to know what's in the gap from that difference. If you're wanting to be paid $2,000 per week, but you're already being paid $1,000 per week, then the difference is $1,000 per week. I know. I never expected to have people do a lot of math with me, but it's been like a trend because we cannot measure what we do not manage. So if we don't know numbers, it makes it really hard to get to where you want to go. So it's very important to me that we have a target. And now what we're doing in part 2 is breaking down that plan. How are we actually going to get there? Because if you just leave it up to chance, it makes it really, really hard to manage it and track it and be able to get the results that you're wanting, okay? So you're gonna give me that number. Now this is my favorite part. You're gonna literally write down, well, you'll have it in your workbook if you pull that up, but you're gonna think of 10 revenue streams, okay? 7, 8, 9, 10. You're gonna think of 10 revenue streams, okay, that you could do to get there. So depending on where you're at in your journey, this may be easy for you to think of or this may be really hard, but I want you to challenge yourself to think of 10. So these could be things that are even not a reality in your business right now, or it's a completely new business. Maybe you want to start real estate. So I want you to just leave it up to anything is possible, stand in 100% possibility, and think of 10 different revenue streams. Now, this can also mean if you want to grow a current revenue stream. So if that's the case, I want you to think of what that revenue stream is and what you would need to grow it by, okay? What you would want to grow it by. So this is new business, okay? So think of how you would grow current revenue streams or add in new revenue streams, and you're gonna challenge yourself to get 10. I know this can be tricky, but I want you to try to think of 10. And I'll tell you why in just one second. So you're gonna think of 10 different ways, and they can be super creative. If you need to Google it, if you need to ask people, think of what you really love, what you're really good at, what you thought about doing. Okay, so this could be selling, like flipping things, going to thrift stores, going to garage sales. Gary Vee even does this, and look at Gary Vee. Like, there's no shame in any type of revenue stream, okay? So think of creative things like that. Real estate. Maybe you want to start a clothing line. Maybe you want to do a coaching consulting business of helping other people in your industry, right? Growing current revenue streams that are super successful, which would be a really good one to put down, if I might say so, right? Maybe you want to do more passive income where you get sponsorships for YouTube or a podcast and get sponsorships for that. So I really want you to get creative. Maybe you've wanted to write a book or have an ebook or a online course. Like, think of all these different ideas, and if it takes you an hour to do it, I don't care. If it takes you 5 minutes, awesome. I really want you to get 10 because this is going to help you grow as a business owner, and I think it's really important. So don't sell yourself short. I want you to think of 10. Now, when you have those 10, I want you to look at all of them, and I want you to think of which one would be the easiest one to complete, right? For example, starting a real estate company or buying a real estate investment property would be a hard one, right? We need a lot of upfront capital. We've got to probably get an attorney, a real estate agent, and that's not something we can do essentially in 1 week. You could, but it's gonna be a lot harder, right? There's a lot more upfront cash. So I wouldn't suggest something that's gonna be like that much labor intensive. I want you to think of something easier, right? So circle which one is going to get you there, that would get you there the quickest, okay? So for example, let's say writing an ebook. You could literally in one day write an ebook, and then the next day you could get it edited, and then the next day you could send it to a graphic designer, and by day 4 or 5, you could literally have it up and live for purchase, right? So I want you to think of that. Or maybe an online academy. There's plenty of people, some of my clients even, that have pre-sold their academy to get it up and running and done a beta test, and then they record it, and then they go over and do round 2 of recording, okay? So I want you to think of which one would get you there the fastest and would be the easiest. Tell me which one you selected and why you selected it, all right? And then we get to go into breaking everything down. What would it actually take for this one revenue stream to start or grow? So if you picked a current revenue stream that is already active, what is it going to take to grow that revenue stream? And if it's a new revenue stream, what is it going to take to get it off the ground and thriving so that you can earn that additional, let's say, $1,000 per week, okay? So we've really got to get clear on that. And the reason why I want you to do all of that, instead of trying to pick 20 revenue streams, say you had an online academy. We're going to switch to the online academy. Say you had an online academy. You brainstormed everything you needed to do to get it off the ground and be able to make it live, right? So you brainstormed all of that. So say our goal was an additional $1,000, since that's the number we've been using in this example. We want additional $1,000 per week, right? So say that academy is amazing, there's so much value, probably $10,000 worth of value in it, and you sell it for $497 per person, and they get lifetime access to it. That would be essentially 2 purchases per week to get to your revenue stream. See how so focused that is? There's no room for feeling scattered. It's very laser focused. This is what we have to do. This is how we're going to get there. And now you have a plan. You literally have a plan right in front of you, okay? And we're gonna talk about how you can actually execute that plan in just 1 second. But the goal is to get it all brainstormed. And I want this to feel really good of like, oh my gosh, I could do this in a week. I really want it to feel like you could get this off the ground or grow this revenue stream in a week to 2 weeks max. If it's something that's gonna take longer to get it off the ground, it doesn't mean you have to be making millions in 2 weeks, but I want it to be something that it could get you moving very quickly. And it's a bonus if it's an asset that can continue to run, right? So what I mean by that is an online academy would absolutely be an asset where there's there's not, I don't want to say a lot, but there can be a lot of upfront work, but after that, you've done all the hard work and now we just sell it, right? And now we get to create that income for you to get you over that $1,000 goal that you said that you needed. Again, we're just using that as an example, okay? So now I want you to drill down on your time. So we've thought of the revenue stream, but then this is where the limiting beliefs can start to come into play. Nellie, this sounds great. I love this plan, but I don't have any time. I don't have any time. We've got to stop saying we don't have time. What you're telling me and what you're telling yourself is it's not a priority, but yet you're so stressed out because you're sacrificing your life. So something has got to change, or a lot of things have to change. And a lot of times it's going to be a little painful for a while, right? We talked about that in part 1, where it's going to be like we're getting those nagging tasks out of the way. So we're this is not fun. This is not sexy. We're probably going to be working more up front, but I would rather you put in more hard work up front with a plan, with a goal, with a target, with a focus to then be able to not sacrifice your whole entire life, right? If we do not change things, these patterns are going to continue. I've seen it in my own life, so I can speak it for you too, right? If we continue in these patterns, you're going to continue to stay stuck, you're going to continue to stay frustrated, and you're not going to get to where you want to go. So we've really got to hone in on those patterns and be able to swap them out, which we're going to continue to talk about right now. So let's talk about your time. So I want you to drill down more on your time. So I want you to think about what are some of the things that are really sucking up your time right now, personally and professionally. We talked about in part 1 that screen time, right? So that could be a part of it. So I want you to tally up all the things sucking up your time. If you need more space in your workbook, go off to the white space and add up all of that in 1 week, okay? Again, we need the numbers, we need the data. So you're gonna add up that. Then you're gonna tell me how many hours you're actually freeing up per week, right? So think about if we could reduce your screen time, like your social media time, say you're spending 20 hours per week on social media right now, which is really easy to do. I know that sounds like a high number, but when we track our screen time, you'd be surprised. It's very easy to do. All those little pockets of time, all those times that you're scrolling, watching things, it adds up, right? It's like going to the Starbucks every single day and we're dropping $5, $10, and then you add up that for a week or a month and it adds up, right? So the same is true about screen time. So I want you to think about that. Maybe we even reduced it by 10 hours per week, right? So now we have 10. Think about the grocery store. Think about Netflix or chores around your house. Like all of these things that are sucking up your time, and it's not that they're not important. It's not that they're not enjoyable, right? We all love Netflix, right? We all love enjoying a good show or a good movie, but we've got to make sure everything is in alignment with your big goal, right? And your business is a vehicle to be able to get you where you want to go faster. So the more we can hone in on those key strategies and the reasons why we're growing your business and how we're growing your business, everything else will be able to work in your favor. So that eventually maybe you'll even be able to do tons of Netflixing, right? But we can't get there unless we have a plan and hone in on that plan, okay? So you're gonna add up that total, and then it's a lot like budgeting, right? The time is gonna go somewhere, right? We have 24 hours in a day, and every single minute of every single day is going to someone or something. So I need you to tell me where that now, whatever amount of hours it is that you're freeing up per week, where is that actually going? Which I'm hoping you'll say to that revenue stream, right? So now we've just debunked that whole limiting belief of I don't have enough time. See what I did there? You now have whatever amount of time you just told me on your workbook, right? So say it's 20 hours a week. Do you know, oh my gosh, to a sales coach, 20 hours a week of focused time for your sales and your business and a revenue stream, you won't even need that much time. Seriously, like you will find when you are so focused, and the longer you focus on that one asset, the more you're gonna be able to hone in on what's working and then do more of that. So that's the reason. We can't make $1 million when we're going in a million different directions. We can't even make 6 figures when we're going in a million different directions, okay? So the more you can hone in and simplify, the better. If that's the only thing you hear from this masterclass, that's what I want you to hear. We've got to stop going in a million different directions because there's only a certain amount of hours per day. Sure, you can hire people and delegate to other people, but still, your zone of genius needs to be extremely focused on growing one thing at a time and the reason why you're growing it. All right? So you're telling yourself where those hours are gonna go. And then again, I want you to tell me and you, right? This is a two-way partnership, but I want you to tell me how we're actually going to make that a reality, because the cold hard truth of it is you can do this whole workbook, it can feel amazing, and then it literally goes in your bag or in a drawer somewhere and you do nothing with it. And that is absolutely what I do not want for you. But we've got to start thinking about, okay, how can I actually make this a reality? And then little by little, we need to chip away at this. So I am extremely known for accountability, holding you accountable, giving you strategy, keeping you motivated when you don't want to keep going. That is truly my sweet spot. So if you do all of this work and you realize, oh my gosh, I need support, there's no way I want to do this all alone, then I invite you to join the Entrepreneur Virtual Gym. We have sales sessions every single weekday at 6:30 in the morning. You can watch live or the recording. And then if you upgrade to the year package, we have a boot camp that you go through. All of this, what we've talked about, is literally going to build on top of what is in the boot camp. And then we're really going to be able to hone in. And here's the most exciting part of this all. If you join this summer, We are doing 1K in 7 days the whole entire summer, every single week. We are focusing on reaching over $1,000 in your business. So that revenue stream, you're gonna have all that accountability, all that coaching, all that support, all that strategy to get you motivated to go take action in your business. Every single time that I have leaned into accountability, coaching, support, a community of like-minded people, so much good has come from it. So if you are like, yes, please, you're raising your hand, I invite you to join. You can literally just reach out to me and I will take care of everything for you. Or you can check out the Entrepreneur Virtual Gym and I'll drop that link for you as well. But grab your spot. You can be one of our founding members. So if you upgrade to the year package, it's $99. One-time payment for the year. So you get that boot camp for 7 days, coaching from me, and then all of the fitness and all of the sales sessions for a whole entire year. It's literally a no-brainer. If you have big goals and dreams and you don't have that support, or maybe you want additional support, I am your girl to hold you accountable and to help you reach your goals. You know what you're capable of, and you know that you can do this. And I invite you to try to not do it alone by joining and locking arms with me so I can support you every step of the way, so you're not frustrated, so you're not sacrificing your life, and so that you're growing your business on purpose and having an amazing fun time with other like-minded individuals along the way. Business, I always say, should be not done alone. It should be done with other like-minded people and have so much fun. So if that all sounds good to you, I invite you to join today so we can get you into the next boot camp and enjoy the 1K in 7 days. We have prizes coming, so stay tuned for what those amazing prizes are. So every single week you can opt into the challenge and opt out if you don't want to do it for a week. But my theory is a lot of things are canceled this summer, so let's really grow our business so that way we can be on a beach next summer enjoying ourselves, and I will totally toast to a margarita to you, and I'm so excited to do that. So we've got to put our head down to really focus and do this work, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Every little step that you take can make and better and faster, right? And that's really what I want for you, and I can't wait to do this with you. So thank you so much for tuning in for your 2-part masterclass on how to stop sacrificing your life so that you can grow a big business. I will see you very soon.